Two men journey to the bars and restaurants of Scandinavia to find amazing beers, always with the same question.
Hey, what's on tap?
It's time to find out.
What's on Tap podcast, back live and in effect.
Are we live?
Well, we're live at this moment. What happens between this moment and the end of the podcast is anyone's guess. Will we make it out? Possibly not.
Help. He's keeping me locked up with no food or water. Only beer.
I'm only giving you beer. It's got all the vitamins you need.
Yeah.
It's got vitamin A and vitamin B.
Beer, yeah.
Vitamin alcohol and vitamin beer.
Yes. But welcome to a very heavy episode where both beers are quite heavy.
Wow.
So I brought the beer that Stefan is sniffing is from Centralwaters. It's called Why Is the Cake Gone? And it's a rum barrel aged chocolate stout.
Nope. It does not say chocolate. It says, did someone say cake? This robust porter has been aged in rum barrels and comes together with vanilla and natural flavorings to deliver a cake experience in liquid form. And it smells like straight up cake.
You're correct. It doesn't say chocolate. I thought I had seen that.
Actually, it smells kind of like coconut a little bit.
That smells like on the aroma. It's very boozy. It's like 13.
To me, this smells like straight up like coconut cake.
In a good way?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Like just crazy amounts of like vanilla cream frosting with little bits of coconut in there. It's like insane.
It smells very promising, actually.
Oh yeah, I mean it's kind of freaking me out a little bit. All right,
they managed a lot of cake aroma. Let's see if it.
It's so much cake. It's almost like artificial cake flavoring, kind of, because there's so much cake going on here.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever smelled a beer that was just like, that is cake.
That's why I brought it. Cheers.
Whew, a little alcohol heat in the back notes there. Just turned up the nose. Did not expect it to hit quite that hard. It's interesting.
I think
it's weird.
I think it's a lot thanks to the rum barrels.
Yeah, there's a weird earthiness to it.
Yeah,
in the aftertaste, almost
like a burnt cake.
Yeah, almost maybe a little burnt, or maybe a little like moldy or old kind of tasting. like I mean, not like I think it sounds kind of like earthy kind of is what I'm saying. It's like when you enter a basement and you get that kind of like earthy smell about it.
I kind of get what you mean.
Kind of get that in the palate, it's.
But it's from 2021. There exists only one vintage of it.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's because it's an old beer. I'm just saying that I think the barrel aging has given it this kind of earthiness that I wasn't expecting. Considering that the smell just smells like straight sugar. It smells like raw cake batter and buttercream frosting. But the aftertaste is much more boozy and much more alcohol-y pronounced.
It's definitely boozy, but it's like a cake made with booze. You have this kind of sharp taste. I don't think we've reviewed Centralwaters on the show ever.
We haven't. I know we've had Centralwaters many times. Just for fun.
So this is part of their Brewers Reserve line.
Yeah.
That's usually only imperial stouts and barley wines. Maybe some other styles.
Did we say this was 13.3%?
I said it was 13 point something.
Yeah. And I mean, it's good. It's definitely a sipper. I don't think you want to just take this down to just start chugging it because of the booziness. I think it needs time to open and time to kind of release some of that, some of those flavors and kind of oxidize a little bit to find its mellow spot.
Yeah, but I think we did the correct thing by only slightly refrigerating it. I had it a little bit in my refrigerator earlier today.
Yeah, I would say it's just cold enough.
Yeah.
It is right in that sweet spot where it needs to be, that you're getting all of those sweet cake-like aromas, but you're also letting that rum barrel finish come through in the end.
Yes.
Good job. And I think that's really important when it comes to a lot of these kind of barrel-aged beers, is really finding that drinking temperature spot where it's not too cold, to where you don't get any of the flavors, and it's not so warm that all you get is just over the top booziness.
Exactly. The weird thing now is the more I sip it, the less I get the boozy feeling. I think my mouth is just getting coated with it. I'm getting accustomed to it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the first sip was like,
boof.
It kind of catches you off guard. You're not expecting it that much because it's so sweet in the smell. But after you take a few sips of it, you're definitely acclimating to that pungent hit, and it's not there anymore. Instead, you get like this nice rummy barrel aging experience.
So pretty fun.
Yeah, that's a really great beer.
Do you want to put a rating now, or do you want it to warm up and?
Nope, I'm good, man. I'm going to give it a 4.5.
Bam! That's really for me. I could bump it up. I was going to say 4.25. I could bump it up to a weak 4.5.
Yeah, for me, it's
somewhere in between.
It's really like a 4.4.
Yeah,
but
sure.
I don't have that, so I'm rounding up.
Yeah. That makes me happy. I always want you to enjoy stuff.
Well, we don't want to bring garbage. We try not to bring like.
But sometimes we bring stuff just because it's fun.
True. But I think we both knew we've had Central Waters before. We know their barrel game's on point. I think we kind of expected this to be pretty good. I think we've been really disappointed if it hadn't been good.
Exactly.
Nice. So next up we have Hoppin Frog, Gavel Slammer, Monumental Darkale. It comes in at 17.4%.
So that's 17.4%.
17.4%.
Yeah.
And it says, wow, they got a lot of text here. For such a small can, they really got verbose. An over-the-top ale like no other, with a Gavel slamming flavor profile, rich, aromatic. I don't know. I can't read that word because it's kind of stretched a little bit. And dark. Lively? Yeah. Going light years over the top of Ohio's old beer alcohol limit, Gavel Slammer is brewed to celebrate Hoppin Frog, putting the hammer down for freedom in Ohio's brewing beer. Brewing Ohio's beer. Yeah.
USA.
Sounds like it. Because of our, there's some more. I'm not done yet. Because of our efforts, on August 26, 2016, we were presented with the gavel used in the final Senate session that removed Ohio's alcohol limit on beer. We did our little part. We're proud of this recognition and our freedom. So, this is from 2016, I guess.
No.
Or 2017, maybe.
So little research I did, it's been released twice, 2018 and 19.
Well, I guess this would be...
18 never got these small cans as far as I could research. I think it's the 19.
Right. So it must be the 2019. It's weird that they waited 3 years or 2 years even to release this beer, because I can't imagine that.
Or maybe there are more vintages starting from 2016. But the best before, if they put
2024.
So if they put a 5-year best before, which is likely, that would make it to 2019.
Yeah, I'm willing to go for that.
It doesn't smell boozy, actually. It smells...
There's a little bit of a boozy note to it, but I'm kind of looking for it, so I'm kind of finding it. But otherwise, it smells really...
It smells rich and thick.
Kind of caramelly in the nose.
Very sweet. But when you swirl it around, it doesn't really stick to the glass.
Really? I get some oiliness on it. Well, not much.
Not much.
But I get a little more carbonation than you got.
Yeah, that's true.
You didn't get any carbonation.
I got the uncarbonated part of the beer.
Yeah, I got the carbonated part of the beer. All right, well, cheers.
Cheers.
That's a little... Okay, this is like one of the problems they have with like the Monumental ice box and ice beers. Is they boil it down and they really get it into such a potent super strength. Same thing with all of the BrewDog super ABV things. That it's just so much that the alcohol just overtakes everything.
Here, at the very first taste, I thought, they've hidden the alcohol pretty well.
Yeah.
It's very sweet, and then the aftertaste is just fumes.
Yeah, it's just like I need a match that can just blow out.
Yeah.
And just gonna sort of.
Gasoline fumes coming out of your mouth. It is very boozy in the aftertaste.
Yeah. Oh God, it's so rough. Like you just take it, you swish it around in your mouth. You're just like, oh, that's so nice. It's sweet. It's a little malty. It's got some great caramel notes. It's like just kind of light and like flavorful. And then you swallow, and it's just like it hurts. Oh my God, it's just it's so boozy.
It is pretty rough, actually.
It is. It takes your breath away.
Yeah.
And this isn't one, like, sometimes when you get these, I think, like, oh, you need to let it breathe and let it open up and burn off the alcohol. This isn't burning off the alcohol. I mean, because it doesn't smell boozy in the nose.
No.
It's pretty light.
Moving back to the... sorry, I was interrupting you. But moving back to the Why is the Cake on? It smells so much like cake now. More now.
But this Gavel Slammer, it's slamming, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to drink more.
There's too much blood in my alcohol.
I don't have to swallow it, Reuters.
That is what he said.
Yeah.
But there's too much blood in my alcohol stream right now.
Oh, all right, I'm done with this beer. This is like a 2.
Unfortunately,
2 for me.
The aftertaste is a bit off-putting.
Off-putting is putting it mildly. It is a train wreck. Like everything up until the point where you swallow the beer, it's actually quite pleasant.
Yeah.
But then like once you swallow it, it's just a garbled train wreck of bad decisions. Like you feel like every bad decision in your life has led up to having this beer. Oh my God, it's tough. It is so tough.
It's quite difficult, actually.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go 2.25.
Now,
I'm sorry, I just can't. I mean, the aftertaste is it's so bad that it makes it undrinkable for me. So after like 3 sips, I'm done. I can't do anymore. I don't want to drink anymore. I feel like if someone was to bet me money, I would question how much and if it was worth it.
I'll give it a 3.25.
You're very generous tonight.
I'm quite generous, but the aroma and the initial flavor is actually nice. We could have a spit bucket.
Yeah. It's like wine. You take it in, and then you spit it out. You don't ever swallow it.
Is that your opinion of wine?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. I have a spit bucket whenever I have a glass of wine. I just sit. I take it. I savor it. Enjoy all of the aromatics and the different flavor experiences I'm getting from it, and then just spit into the bucket.
I hope all of you listeners have your sarcasm detectors lined up, because
I don't know what you're talking about. I've gone through a whole box of wine just doing that. I don't know what the problem is.
You make me sad.
How else can you truly appreciate wine?
That is true. I am of the opinion that you cannot fully experience beer that way. I am of the opinion you have to. A lot of the flavor of beer is in that aftertaste after you've swallowed.
I'll be honest with you, I don't think you really appreciate wine that way either.
No, fair enough.
I think you're just, because again, you're not getting it into the back of the palate, and you're not getting the air to aerate over your entire tongue and your taste buds to really get all of those secondary characters that you get from drinking or eating or any experience or anything. Because you're looking at only a very small amount of flavor profiles you can create with the tongue. Most of that stuff is coming in through the nose and the olfactory sense.
Yes.
And if you don't have that other experience with it, then you're missing out on the other flavors that you're not going to get that aren't salty, sweet, bitter, umami.
I feel so. I've tried to get into wine many different times, and it just never interests me as much as beer has always done.
Yeah, I think that the differences in wine aren't as dynamic as you get with beer. And so therefore, when you're trying, like, say, a bunch of different red wines, unless they're like vastly different in style and flavor profile. I mean, so many wines you buy today are blends.
Yeah.
That you're not really, unless you're buying a Cabernet Sauvignon or you're buying a Malbec, or a Shiraz. Those are very distinct flavors, and they have their own, things that are happening with them based on even, the elevation where they're grown. So Cabernet Sauvignon grown in like Chile is going to be different than a Cabernet Sauvignon grown in, say, South America.
Yes.
Or not South America, South Africa.
But I'm almost willing to say that wine tasting is equivalent to IPA tasting.
Right, and that
only,
and that was my next point was if you were just lining up a bunch of lagers and then like try a bunch of different lagers, and they said, well, these were grown in different regions of Bavaria, and then like these were made in different parts of the U.S. That would be the equivalent, because it's all going to taste like beer. But some might be a little more bitter, some might be a little more metallic, but it's all going to taste about the same.
Yeah, I was being kind comparing to IPA tasting, because you still have a wide variety of flavors there.
Yeah.
But you're still confined to that very thin basic flavor profile.
Yeah, but I would say that the IPA flavor profile is more dynamic.
I think so too.
Than maybe red wine flavor profiles. And that's why I was like saying.
I was being kind to our listeners who happen to like wine.
Oh, I love wine. Don't get me wrong. I love wine, and I definitely appreciate different wines from different regions, because there are certain styles that grow better and create different profiles. But yeah, no, I definitely get that. If you were to blindfold me and give me a bunch of different wines, I'd be like, red, white, I don't know. This one's sweeter than the other one. All right, so
this was a heavy episode.
It was a lot. It was a very high ABV slammer kind of episode.
And then we slammed wine a little bit.
We did.
We don't slam wine enough on this show.
That's our new top of the episode thing is slamming wine
to declare war on the entire wine world.
Yeah, so we'll get into how Chardonnays are bullshit. How Chardonnays are the new white Zinfandel in the next episode.
Chardonnay, expensive Chardonnay is actually really tasty.
Sure, man. Sure. If you like oak aging, I mean, that's
the cheap stuff.
All right, you can find us online at what'sontappodcast.com, Instagram, Spotify, Facebook, YouTube, and wherever you can find the classiest, most prestige podcast. The podcast you listen to when you sip your Cabernet with your pinkies out. That's where you'll find What's on Tap podcast.
Quite so, old chap.
Yes, pip cheerio.
Chip.
Until next time.
Keep drinking, you fools.